Hey guys, how's it going? Alright, so what we're doing today is I've got a new helmet and I've got to put a microphone in it. Now I've already started. The first thing, if you've been following what I've been doing, with this, because this is an MX helmet and it has this bloody big vent thing here and it has all sharp edges, the first thing I've got to do, and what I have done, is covered all that over with duct tape so that when the wind hits that, it's a smoother surface and it's not going to make a lot of noise. Now obviously you don't hear this normally apart from being in your helmet, but it's that surface noise that the microphone is going to pick up. So that's the new helmet. So this is what I've existingly been using. So the same deal, I covered all that with the duct tape. Yeah, in this one here, I've done it differently. On this peak here, it's a lot deeper than the other one, so I had more room. So as you can see that, I've covered the microphone, see that wire, the microphone with the fur stuff. And that's a big bloody glob of it, and that's then pushed basically right in, so that it's right in there. I'm hoping you guys can see it because I find it hard to see it on that screen. So that helmet worked really good. The only time that it didn't work was when you were going like at 100 k's an hour down the highway. You would then start to hear the noise. Now, and I'm hoping I'm going to be able to fix that with that new helmet. But where I think that the problem of that is that these sharp edges on the bottom and also on the top, when you're going that fast, that noise is intensified. So I reckon it's these parts that is making that that microphone pick up that surface sound. So with this new helmet in here, I have this part here there's not a big hole, so I'm going to do something a little bit different there. But as I said, I've already taped that. I'm also, and when I do that, I'm just going to do it normally. We'll go out for a ride, see how that works with the mic. But then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put some fur around this edge here. I may do it up the top, I may not, I'm not too sure, but I will put some here and just see if that actually makes a difference when you're going really fast. So that's what we're going to do. Alright, let's get into it. Alright guys, so the first thing different that I'm going to do, and if I just zoom in, so there's the hole there that the mic's going to sit in. So it's got some, what do you call it, foamy stuff there. What I'm going to do is actually line here with some of this fur stuff. So I'm going to put a layer of that fur stuff in there. Then I'm going to put the mic, see this mic here, sit that there, and then another fur coating over the top. So what I've done is I've just grabbed a bit of bloody shop towel. Looks pretty scratchy looking, but what I've done is just put that over there, got a texture, and just to give myself an idea of the shape that I've got to cut out. So I'm going to cut that out, put it on here, cut it a little bit bigger, because in here, I'll zoom in again, I know that I can tuck past this lip so that it's going to hold that stuff in there. Alright guys, so I've cut this piece out of that fur and now it's going to go in there. So I'll just do this and then I'll come back to you because I tried getting this to zoom in and it's too dark. Alright guys, so I've managed to get that in there. It was pretty bloody easy. So as you can see, that fur is all in there. And basically this plastic part here, there's a ridge in there and I was able to tuck that fur in behind it so that it was actually in between these two outer layers or whatever. So just tucked in there really well, don't need anything to hold it there. Cool, so that's job number 2. So the first one was to cover the outside with the tape, so getting rid of all those harsh corners and bits and pieces. The second thing is to line the inside of that peak with that fur, so it makes it's a muffling sound from whatever is coming from the outside. The third bit is to get your microphone. Now this is a drift camera microphone. It's brand new. Bought it from Camzilla. It's a mono microphone, not stereo. It doesn't matter for me, because I use Sony Vegas, and in the audio I just have to right click, tell it to be left only, and that makes it so that the sound goes across both sides, whether someone's listening to it on speakers or in earphones or whatever. So this little clip thing, that just bloody gets taken off, so that gets removed. If you can hear Phoebe, she's whinging out there. There's nothing wrong with her. She just carries on. So with this mic, you'll see if I take this off, that's, whoa. So that's just a little foam doovalaki. And there's the actual mic there. And the reason why they put these foam things is because that's got all sharp edges on it. And when I say sharp, it's not like sharp, it's going to cut you. Harsh edges, and then as soon as the wind hits that, that makes that noise. So that's why you always see microphones with those types of things, and that's fine, but even wind will go across this and make that noise. So that's why you can buy specialised, what do they call them, dead cats or whatever. You can buy furry things that will go over it, but that's what I just bought this fur from the local bloody what is it, the Spotlight, I don't know, where they do sewing and knitting and all that kind of stuff, material shop, to do that. But so that's what I did with the other one. I covered this actually just like that and put that into the old helmet, but I can't really do that because it's not as deep. So what I'm going to do is mount that in there, and then this is going to get put over the top of that, so that'll cover it. Sorry guys. Alright, so what I was saying is this was the third bit of mounting this in here. Now my camera, hopefully I've zoomed in, but my camera sits on this side, so I want this wire to come out around here. So because this has got a ridge in here, I should be able to just tuck that cable down and in there. Just like that. Look at that. Bloody beautiful. Hang on, I'll show you. Zoom in. There you go. So basically, where are we? There. That's the thing. So it's just tucked in, so it's being held there. And then I'm going to get some duct tape and stick this down and feed it along so that it comes out and down to where it's going to hook in. Where are we? Oh, over here. There. To where the camera is. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you what I've done here. So obviously this, I've put the camera on, I've plugged in the wire, I've made a little bit of a kink there just so that this wire is not too stretched, and then I've just taped that here. Now obviously if I don't have the camera on, this cable will be just freely sitting like that. That's the way I've just always ran it, it's never a problem. Punch that in there. So now I'll put some more tape over here. This will bend around. I'll bring this around. This will get taped around in here, and then all this access wire here is going to get just basically jammed in through in between there. And then I've just got to get some tape to go, sorry, get down on there. Get some tape to tape this. Oh, where is it? Here it is. I'll tape this wire that leads from the mic around behind that cheek and just tape it on there so it doesn't bloody move around like that. Geez, I tell you what, I'm sick of this bloody weather. This is just blown in. Crazy. Rain, more bloody rain. Can't believe it. But hopefully this is, I think today's pretty much the last of it. Whoop, whoop. Oh no. Well, that woke the cat up. Are you going crazy? Shit. Oh. Oh. No, that's what happens when you've got an empty gas bottle on there. Yeah, I'm hoping this is going to be the last of the bad, shitty rain. The weekend's looking really good, which is I've got the ramble ride coming up. Anyway, let's get back into this. Alright guys, so all the taping has now been done. So there it all is. Just put some extra tape around that. That taping goes all the way around. The extra wire is being shoved in all down through there and making sure that the wiring is not going to protrude anywhere and annoy my head. And then around here, so you can see I've just taped that wire so it's just going to stay out of the way. Simple as that. So now we've got to put the fur over here. And what I think I'm going to do is actually super glue it on there. I think it's going to be the best way to do that. Alright guys, so I've cut out my little piece that's going to go over the top of the microphone. Now I just want to let you know that I did a little bit of recording with it just the way that it is at the moment, just to make sure that the new microphone was working and all the cables and all that before I actually placed that over there. So I'll just give you a close-up of what I'm going to do. So there's the mic, and then this piece is just going to get stuck straight over the top of that. So that you can see I've put the super glue just all the way around the outside on the back of the fur, and that's going to stick straight onto the helmet, or the inside of the helmet. Alright guys, so here it is. That's the finished product. So that is now being just super glued in there. So that's all hunky-dory. So my next step now is to actually jump on the bike, go and test it, but with all this bloody rain, the bloody temperatures drop, Nay's going to start cooking spaghetti for tea. So I'm going to do the testing tomorrow, which you'll see right after this. Alright guys, so this is a test for just standing around with the new microphone. I'll see you out at the 100k zone. Alright guys, so I'm currently doing 60 k's an hour. Just going to get up going. Doing 80 k's an hour now. Hopefully you can hear me. I've got a lot of wind noise, which is normal for my helmets. We'll get her up to 100 k's now. So we're now doing 100 k's an hour. Obviously it's noisier, but we'll see if this sound comes out alright. Alright guys, so we're doing about 100 k's an hour now. A lot more noise, obviously. Actually we're doing 120 k's. Whoop. 120 k's an hour. This peak seems alright. 110, back it down, really 90, 80, dropping down my gears. There you go. So I don't know how that's turned out. I mean, a difference between this helmet, or the new helmet, and my old helmet, pretty much the bloody same. I couldn't really tell. It's just the comfortability at the moment. The peak actually seems better, I must admit. When I was putting my head up and down like that, it seemed to have less resistance. But anyway, see you back in the man cave. Actually guys, I forgot, I wanted to do a bit of covering of the mic. So if I'm trying to cover some air, cover some air over the, what are we doing? 80k, shit, hang on. I wanted to do some covering of some air while I'm talking. This is on the top part of the peak. Now I'm down on the bottom. Now I'm down on the bottom part of the peak, just covering that. So hopefully this is sounding alright. Don't know, now I'm going to the top part of the peak, the bottom part of the peak. And if I put my Omni Cruise on, I'm going to try both. So now I'm covering the top and the bottom of the peak. Cool, see you at the back at the man cave. Alright guys, so there you go, that's it. I reckon this helmet is now set up for what I do. I'm not going to put any fur around there or around the top. So as in that last bit, I was doing it where I was talking where I'd cover that part there. So that was to not have wind coming across on this hard stuff, and then I'd move it down to the bottom. When I did it on the bottom, it made bugger all, no difference whatsoever. On the top, it did make a difference. It actually created more, you could hear the wind hitting on my hand, obviously, or the glove. But it kind of like clarified the sound, whereas when I take it away, you'd lose the sound of the wind, but it was a little bit muffled, it's slight muffling. If I knew how to do it or wanted to take the time to bloody, yeah, you can fix all that up in edit, but I never worry about doing that. As long as you can understand what I'm saying without having to struggle too much. Nay's over here laughing at me going, nobody understands what you're saying, Mark. But you get what I'm trying to say. So I think that's a done deal. I think this helmet actually works better than my old helmet at that higher speed. Now, I'm not a motorcycle vlogger where I just jump on my bike and I'm riding down, you know, doing the 100 k's or whatever, you know, speed they're normally doing. That's not what I normally do. A lot of the stuff, you know, when I'm talking and stuff, I'm normally standing like this now, or, you know, I'm doing the slow stuff, you know, through the bush and all that kind of stuff. I'm not really doing it. And if I wanted to talk while going along, I'd most probably back off down to 80 k's or something like that, and then start chatting and talking about that particular thing at that particular time. Alright, I'm rambling on like I normally do. Cool bananas. Hopefully that might have been a bit helpful for you guys. But yeah, that's the process of what I do when I'm putting mics in helmets. I'll just quickly say that it's funny that at speed, this helmet, which is the open face helmet, is better than something that has, you know, coverage on it. And that just proves the point of the wind hitting hard surfaces. That's what creates the noise. Because the microphone's in there, there's no hard surface, so it just is fine. The only trouble that I have with this is I've got Harry's big windshield, and I get that buffeting thing which takes my voice away. But if I stand up above it, I then go straight back to perfect, well, not perfect, but pretty good bloody sound coming out of it. So if you've got a helmet, look for those hard surfaces, alleviate that. And of course, it's always a downfall, is that you've got to do stuff like that. So in this case, I'm getting rid of that airflow that I might need. The other thing is that you've got that look. It might look a bit shit. But if you want the good sound, that's what you got to bloody do, I suppose. All right, I'm shutting up. Keep on riding, guys.